This is the first part of the tutorial on animating a horse trotting, and I've opened up the rig Ret, which I used for the horse walk, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. So my new project window, go for new. I'm going to call this horse trot. Accept. As before, you can use any rig you like. You don't have to use the Ret rig. There are a number of good quadruped rigs out there. And just so we're clear, quadrupeds all essentially animate in the same way. So whether you're doing a cat or a dog or a horse or a cow, a walk and a trot and a run are essentially the same for all of them. Also dogs. They all basically run, but they all walk, trot and run in fundamentally the same way. So it doesn't have to be a horse that you do this week if you'd rather do something else. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now set to the project that I've created, set project, and I'm going to go to horse trot, there we go, set there, and now we're going to have a look at the thumbnails which are included. These are actually thumbnails, the best horse trot thumbnails I've been able to find are taken from a film that I worked on many years ago called Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron over at DreamWorks. And these thumbnails were done by the exceptionally talented Rodolphe Guénodin, who is still at DreamWorks, I believe. And he did these thumbnails of Rain trotting. And they are very, very good. So what we're going to do is, obviously, it's a 16-frame cycle we're doing now. Remember, the horse walk was a 32-frame cycle, so this is twice as fast. And we're going to do, first of all, 1 and 17, and then do 9, which is the mirror image position between the two. And then we'll do 5 and 13, and then we will do the other poses, 3, 11, 15, and 7. I'd normally start with the contact position, but in this case, this formula is the one that I found that works best. Okay, so let's start off. You should have these thumbnails in front of you. You should have them printed out in front of you while you work, not just on the screen, because it's very, very difficult to toggle between an image on the screen and the image in front of you. Okay, so let's go ahead and set our timeline from 1 to 17. And now I'm going to do my best to match the position at frame 1. So I'm going to grab this foot here and rotate. Actually, that's not going to work. I think if we're going to rotate the foot back, we might want a little bit of rotation there, but most of the work we're going to have to do okay, that doesn't look too bad. And now the whole body is going to be slightly up, so actually we want to make sure we're setting keyframes as we're doing this. So whoops, I want to turn select surface objects off. And now the body is actually at its highest point here, so we probably want to bring let's see, actually I think we'll use this control for the up and down, because unlike in a walk, the whole body moves up and down at the same pace. In other words, the shoulders and the withers, the shoulders and the rear of the horse do not counter animate as they do in a walk and also in a run. Okay. So just for now, all we're doing now is trying to match the frame 1 pose as close as we can. And you can actually feel free to create a ground plane, and import the image into your plane. There's nothing wrong with doing that either, and then actually match it to individual poses. That's a completely acceptable method of working. Okay, so there we go. So something like that. I'm actually just going to go ahead and drag select all of these controls and set keyframes on everything at the front. And then I'm going to middle mouse drag that to 17 and hit S there as well. Actually, I'm not sure about that. That's not... I'll leave that there for now. Okay, so now having done that, I've got to do the mirror image position at frame 9. I also need to make sure that my spline curves are turned on. Yes, I'm in spline under animation settings. That's all good. And if I hit spacebar, I want to make sure that all of my curves are showing infinity curves. So I'm going to go curves pre-infinity cycle, curves post-infinity cycle, and then under view, show infinity there. Click on infinity. So that will show us our infinity curves. One thing you'll notice about Rhett, which is one of the reasons I like him, is he hasn't got a tail. And that will save you an awful lot of work in animation, because animating tails is a lot of work. Okay, so now we've got to do the halfway position. And to do this, I'm actually going to do what I did before, and that is to create some little pyramids. And where are they? Let's go to my perspective view. And let's just move them. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to scale my little pyramid up like that. And I'm just going to go Control D to duplicate that pyramid and then move it over there. And then Control D again. Control D again. So now I've got 4 little pyramids, and I'm just going to use those as little markers so that I don't lose track of where the feet were. Because at frame 9, we've got to move everything over so that it's basically, I'm just going to take out the rotates on that. No, I don't want to do that. So that we're matching the position, because remember, this is essentially a mirror image position we're doing here. Okay. So let's see, that doesn't look quite as nice. Actually, that in a way looks better. Frame 9, that's what we want. Okay. It's not exactly the same, but actually this one here I'm noticing isn't. I'm not actually matching the. I'm not actually matching the drawing at all. So I'm going to change that to, and middle mouse drag that to 17. Okay. So there we go. So let's go back to frame 9. Now at frame 9, okay, so this foot here now wants to be out in front. Don't forget, by the way, that all of these, there are sample images of all of these actions of all of the trots at the sample videos page. So do go ahead and have a look at that. Horselocomotion.com is a wonderful resource for this stuff. It's a really, really good website, and is full of really, really useful things. So I highly recommend that as well. It's all about the reference with this stuff. you will find that, okay, there we go. So if I just press play there, all right, that's kind of what we want. It's all about the reference, and it's all about matching the thumbnails, and it's all about creating attractive shapes. As soon as you have odd shapes going on, you know, this kind of thing, something a horse couldn't do, you're never going to get good animation. So it's all about trying to make the model do what's attractive. And you will find that all rigs and all animation rigs have their limits. They are all, you can break them all. But the trick with being a good animator is not to break the rig. It's always easy to blame rigging and say, oh, the rig won't do what I need it to do. But you've got to make it do what you need it to do. And believe me, there are no perfect rigs, except perhaps Monty. Monty is pretty much as close to a perfect rig as I've ever found. Okay, I'm going to save this out. Save scene as horse trot underscore V001. I'm going to save that, and in the next video, we'll continue posing it out.